So basically what I wanted to do is just quickly go over Medtribe. So as many of you know, Medtribe is going to be our new sort of platform for us to do all of our bookings and stuff like that on. Me and Sarah this morning had a meeting with the Medtribe founders, one of which is I think either an F2 or someone on a F3 year, and his brother who's a bit more of a tech guy. And they are basically creating this, and we are their guinea pigs. It's really good. Nick's already tried it out, and today basically I'm going to show you what you guys need to do, and then you can start having a play around. So what the platform looks like at the moment is slightly different to what the next version is going to look like, because they're constantly updating it with the changes that we're asking them to make, but also like with feedback that we're giving to them. So the first thing I'd like all of you to do is go to Medtribe, and then I'd like you to sign up. So when you sign up, so hopefully you can see this, that just email, password confirmation, and then create account. So I'm going to do this with my own email address, but then what I'm going to do is going to revert back to the account I've already made for our amazing London Pediatrics web page, basically. I hope that's right. Okay. Oh, of course. Right. So you create your account, and then once you've created your account, put in your details. Okay. I am going to actually ask everyone to create an account with their NHS email ideally, but the next bit from here is pediatrician, or well, doctor, and then pediatrics, ST6, and word of mouth. Great. So then you log on. Okay, so this is your page. So what I'm going to do actually is just going to log out of my own account and actually go into the London Pediatrics account. The reason why I want to do that is because I want to show you how to create a course. So this is one that me and Sarah did earlier with the course with the Medtribe leads. But basically I'm going to go through a new one, and I thought it'd be really good to just quickly go through the grid and spin and how to really make courses on this. So first and foremost, okay, you go here, it's pretty easy, create a course. Name of your course, so we're going to do grid and spin information evening. An evening on MS Teams to discuss the process of applying for grid and how spin works, with an opportunity to speak to those in sub-spec training or something like that. Okay, who is the course provider? So this should always be London School of Pediatrics, okay? And the reason why is that sooner or later we're going to be having communities, because as Medtribe gets bigger and as they start involving anaesthetics and people like that, we're going to want a whole area just for London School of Pediatrics. So this is going to be our area. So you need to make sure that is London Peds. So then basically you have all of these parameters to fill out, okay? But remember, once this is done once, it's really easy to add dates, and you don't have to ever redo this first page ever again. So grid and spin info evening, the short course description, the course provider, who is certifying this course. So many of our courses aren't certified, but if they are, just put down London School of Pediatrics. Most of them don't have CPD points, so you can skip that. That's why they're optional. Then the description. So detailed course description. This is where you would put your date, your time, maybe your agenda, learning objectives, and other info basically. That's it. And then, so there's learning outcomes here, but you can all put it in that top box if you want. It doesn't really make a difference. Any other information, and then you save it. The other good thing about this is that you can edit it, you can put in links, you can also put in your poster or a picture of whatever you want to put in this part here, okay? Then once you've done that, so save, then you go on to policies. So at the moment, we are not going to do any of the deposits or refundable deposits because of the way that this functionality works. They haven't quite worked out how to do payments and then refund them, because there's always a cost for the middleman who's doing the payment, which in this case is a company called Split, I think it is, or something like that. Stripe. So they are working on that because I've told them that that's what we'd like to do. So the policies won't apply to us. So we're not going to use any, we're not going to price any tickets or do any refundable deposits at the moment, but then we can change it afterwards retrospectively. Right, so this won't be there, but when it is, then you can fill it out. Then dates. So this is the beauty of it. So this year we're going to run a course date on the 28th of September, I believe, which is Wednesday. And it's going to start at, let's say, 6 p.m. What time does it end? It'll probably end on the same date at 9 p.m. Okay. When is the booking deadline? Okay. So this is the deadline. We have to, it's a non-optional. So we do have to put this in, but for most events, we can just put it in the morning of, basically. Okay. And when is cancellation deadline? So this is really important about refunds, basically, but your cancellation will be maybe a week before, so you can just put that in. Okay. Then who's leading this course? So ideally this is the course organizer. So for Grid and Spin, I'm not sure who's from the Surviving and Thriving subgroup is, but for ease, I would put the subgroup rather than personal name. Surviving and Thriving subgroup, okay? How will students be attending? So this is an online course. So you can put the meeting link here, so www.carryon, which is great, okay? So that's our first date, right? Now, say for example, for things like the part task or communication courses that the sim team do, all you need to do is add course date for another date, okay? And then you keep adding and adding, basically, which is great because it means that you don't need to change any of the details or the descriptions. You can even add next year's Grid and Spin here, and it's all there pre-populated. Next, tickets. So with tickets, you have to create tickets, okay? So your ticket name can be standard, okay? Because all of our tickets will be standard, but they're free. If you don't create this, then no one will be able to buy a ticket, although there's no cost, right? So we need that. So that's perfect. Create tickets, done. Then the booking forms. Now this is really good. So when you create a booking form, this is basically standard tickets. So this is basically what they fill out when they book your ticket. So you might want to ask them to, what trust do you work for? Add question. Then you could be like, well, it's just like a Google form. You could add in, what year of training are you? Some people also use the booking form as a good way, apparently, to do a pre-course survey. So what do you hope to learn from this course? Or something like that, which is really useful. You save that. And then you configure. So at the end, you have to configure. So this is something that will be taken out in our updated version. But once you go to configure, this is where we're at. So the course date has no tickets configured. So let's just double check because it's the first time I'm doing it as well. So go to configure for the course, the tickets, and then it'll tell you. So what's the maximum number? Now this is really useful because obviously some of our, like for example, some of our courses, we only want 30 people. So for Grid and Spin, we're happy to have 150. So actually, there we go. Okay. Then we configure this. Oh, and they're all standard free. So this is the other good thing, is that if you wanted to do early bird tickets, then you could actually have an early bird ticket and then limit them to only 15 of these 150 will be early bird, okay? But as we're just doing 150 standard tickets, this is fine. So then we can configure. So max number of bookings, you do have to put this in, I think. 150, just so it knows. But this is a step that we might be able to, well, it's probably because I'm not saving it, sorry guys. Sadly, I'm obviously getting something wrong here. No, there we go. You have to put in the max bookings and then you configure it. Done. Save. Okay. Sorry, I did that lots of times. And now you just go to publish course, okay? Oh yeah. Right, so what you do have to do here, sorry, is you have to, no published course dates. I'm obviously doing something wrong here. Oh yeah, sorry. So when you go out, once you've configured the tickets, you have to then go publish the date. Sorry, because obviously if you've got multiple dates, then you want only the first one to be published. You don't want all of them to be published until this next one gets done, unless you want all of them to be published, in which case there'll be a long list here and you need to do it. So then you can publish the course, sorry, and then you can publish the course, and there you go. This is your kind of your main dashboard for it. Okay, so then you can look down here. So dashboard, this is how many dates you've got, how many bookings, your inquiries and your tickets, which I'll go through now. So you can see what the course will look like for everyone else, okay? So you can obviously make it look a little bit prettier, and obviously this will have much more detail in it, but we've just done a dummy version to be quick. Then you can see, go to here to change anything or edit anything that you need to. Then the attendance register. So this is really useful. So this will have a register of everyone who has decided to sign up for this date, okay? So if there's any other dates, there'll be a list here. Then there's bookings. So this, oh, sorry, attendance register is different. I will tell you why. So bookings is the number of people who have booked on, okay? And then here is where you see their form responses. So like if you ask them, what are you planning to get out of this course? What year are you, etc. That'll be in the booking section. Now the attendance register is great because when the course happens, there will be a QR code that you can send them. And when you send them the QR code, they will be able to, or you can put it up on your slide or whatever, and that's how they register. And as soon as they put the QR code in, they will just have to write their name and their last name, and then it will come up here that they are attending, which makes it much easier for when you do your surveys and your certificates, which I'll talk about in a second. So sorry for the confusion. This is the attendance register. So this is your bookings I've spoken about. Now these are your inquiries. So sometimes what will happen is people might email you on here if they've got a question about the course, or if they haven't booked the course but they're looking for more information. So this is really useful because it just means that we don't get emails to our own email addresses. Everything is done through this according to what course. Then payments, so don't touch this just yet. I just need to create a Stripe account and also just figure out how we're going to do the refund with Medtribe before we do this, okay? So the last couple of things, so this one's the one which is going to save us loads of time. So you can create a scheduled email, okay? So you can send out an email to, and what it does, it will send it out on the date you want it to be sent, and it will send it out to those who attended, those who partially attended, or those who did not attend the course, or everyone who signed up, which is all students, okay? So that's why it's so good, because we can do all students to send out to everyone like the week before, the night before, and have it all ready where, you know, it's a reminder email. And then afterwards, for everyone who attended the course, we can then send out their survey, so their feedback form, and say to them, until you've done your feedback form, you won't be able to get your certificate, which will be in one of the functionalities that Medtribe create when they do the certificate section of the website, which is great. So this will save so much of our time, because once you've pre-populated it once, the same email can be sent out every year as well, because the emails can just be copied over as well, I think, which would be great. Although this one's specific for this course date, obviously. Okay. Then the next thing is, scheduled emails. And then they'll all come up here, which ones are scheduled, and then you can reschedule them for the next year and things like that. Then the course survey. So again, very much like a Google form, you can create a survey, okay? And you can add questions, and then you get the survey responses. And they're currently working on trying to get that populated into like the Google form format, where you can like see graphs and stuff like that. At the moment, you can actually see the responses and download it into an Excel file, which is very useful for when we're analysing our survey information. Then further down on this list will be a certificates tab, but they haven't got there just yet, but hopefully by the end of the month they should do. So as you can see, there are loads of perks of getting this up and running. So they're going to come and talk to us about this on the September showcase meeting, just because I feel like we need to spread the word about them. And it's really nice that they're using us as their guinea pigs, because they're really receptive. So everything we've said to them and fed back to them in the two or three meetings I've had with them, they've actually taken it all in and really edited the Medtribe interface so that it matches what we would have wanted. Okay, so there's a few bits and pieces they're still working through, but you know, with time things will evolve. So what I really want you guys to do, so first and foremost, I think most importantly, I need everyone to sign up, like I mentioned. So if everyone signs up with their own NHS email, because I'd like everything to run through NHS email if possible. So if everyone signs up, basically what that means is you can then create courses that you run, okay? Now, if you want to, so say, for example, I know Surviving and Thriving have their own Gmail account, and you want to do all your Surviving and Thriving courses through that Gmail account, you can do that. But don't worry about it so much, because of the fact that you can have multiple people who are course leaders in time when they start up this community thing. So it'll be sort of like a group, a London School of Paediatrics group, and different people will have different varying access levels. So, you know, like chair will probably have access to everything, as will deputy chair and treasurer, and probably subgroup leads will have access to all of their subgroup-led things. And within London School of Paediatrics, we'll have different categories of courses. So for example, you might have for ST6 and above will be all of the start stuff will be in one folder, so that people can just direct, rather than having just a long ream of courses and then everyone having to filter through what's applicable to them. So there will be all these functions, but at the moment this is just what we have. And what I really want is everyone to start just populating stuff. And later on we can put them all into groups. So they've assured me that everything will be able to be moved around. Just as long as you make sure that the course, that first bit that I told you about is London School of Paediatrics, as long as it has that tag on it, it helps for future. So guys, please have a play. I really hope this video makes sense to you guys. I'm sorry it's a little bit long. You will get another session with them. I think my priority at the moment is, if you guys get these up and running, we're not going to like send them out just yet, but probably by end of September we can start getting actually using them and getting people to sign up with them. Until then, it would be great if you could just pre-populate your courses. The education subgroup and the sim committee people on this education subgroup, I'm going to get you to actually liaise with the team yourselves. I'm going to send an email soon, because I think your stuff, there's so much of it that actually it might be worth you having a little session with them. If you don't want it, then don't worry, they are going to create how-to videos, but because you've got so many courses to add, it might be worth doing that. But if you think this is enough just to get you going, and then maybe when you've come into a couple of issues, they're always happy to be contacted. Start populating courses. It'll be great. And also long term, it means a lot less work for the future. So get started. I thought the beginning of September would be a good time to launch this as well. Enjoy. Any questions you have, please just let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to send an email with the Medtribe team, so that you know them as subgroup leads and trainee committee members, so you can actually approach them directly if you've got any questions or feedback or anything that you think would be useful. I've told you about a few of the things that we've already told them, but I'm sure along the way we'll find more. So guys, enjoy. Let me know what you think, and hopefully you are as excited about this as I am. Have a lovely rest of the day, guys. Bye.